Talking Arizona football with Shireen Ryan. You can join her on Zona Zealots. And as we just mentioned a few minutes ago, join the Facebook page, which is exploding. Zona Zealots on Facebook.
It doubled in the last month, like doubled from 3,000 to 7,000 something.
It's amazing. I need some of that magic fairy dust to make its way to Mark Rogers TV.
Mojo.
Little mojo would be good. All right. Hopefully they've got some mojo even after 1-8 in the Pac-12 there at fall camp. So what do you have for us now that the boys have been in camp for about a week?
So there's a highlight of Nathan Tilford taking off, leaving the entire offense and defense in the dust. I think it was Matt Moreno who posted it from, I think he's from Rivals. And he, Wildcat Authority, if you want to check out Matt Moreno's stuff. And he goes, yeah, I'm sure the coaches were loving watching that. So that was fun. Having everybody healthy is also a great thing. The tight ends are looking really good. We are the Rob Gronkowski, I don't want to say melting pot, but we're where he came from. So Arizona should be known for tight ends. And Rich Rod said he promised me, I asked him, so Rich Rod, we're going to see more tight ends this season. And he goes, Shireen, somehow you always work the tight ends into the conversation. I said, well, I'm the only woman at the table. Somebody's got to bring it up. I said, but I'm interested. Like, I want to make sure that you're playing tight ends this season. And he said, definitely, Trevor Woods looking really good. And Jamie Nunleyson is a redshirt freshman, and he bulked up over the last year and a half. And I don't know, maybe they heard me because now we're seeing the tight ends interview each other on the media, and it's a thing. So maybe I'm going to get my way and see more tight ends this year. I
like it. Arizona football talk with Shireen Ryan from Zona Zealots. Recruiting, is there any latest news that doesn't involve Oregon?
Yeah, we got to – well, here's the problem. The problem is you get a great recruit and you're like, woohoo, somebody from IMG, right? And then the next minute you're like, well, they could flip. So Rich Rod has said many times that, he wishes, he doesn't have a Dr. Phil on staff to help him with rejection. He says he just offers everybody, and if they all say no, they all say no. Maybe somebody will say yes. So that's his the way he goes about it. But yeah, the name is slipping me. I'm so sorry, but we did get somebody from like one of the top high schools. I think he's from Florida. Every day it seems that there's somebody else who's committing every other day. The good thing is that the signing period is changed, right? So you can now sign in, is it November or December? So that's going to help our program because coach really feels like if somebody wants to sign. Like this whole thing about I'm going to commit and then I'm going to wishy-wash and then I'm going to wait for everybody else to offer me and then I'm going to change my mind. I mean, it's a game that, who has time for that? So he feels like there should be no signing period. You want to sign when you commit. But anyway, he's happy that there's another day. So we're all looking forward to December or November and getting everybody nice and signed so we don't have to deal with this again.
For the kids who make a commitment early in the process and are firm in their commitment, which no coaches or outside people can know who's truly firm because so many of them do flip, it's got to be aggravating. And this new rule has to be a blessing for those kids that want to get it, go from commitment to signing, and then they're off the table and they can stop being bothered by coaches all over the country. I believe that you're referring to Josh Walker, who's out of IMG Academy, Bradenton, Florida. Let's see, he's a top 50 player at his position of defensive tackle.
Yep, that's the guy, a big boy from Florida. Coach Rod has hired a couple coaches that have Florida and Texas ties because he's ignored them all these years. But he says there's plenty of players in Texas and Florida, so why not get somebody to come to Arizona? It's a beautiful campus. It's great weather. A lot of people want to leave the East Coast because of the weather. So, it's beautiful weather in Tucson, and people always think it's like 115, but that's Tempe. It's really never gets really over 100, 105, and then it cools down in October, November, and then it's cold until like March, April. and then starts heating up a little, and then you're out by May. So it's kind of a fallacy to say that Arizona's, hot all the time. It's not. Tucson is not. There's mountains, there's hiking, there's all kinds of stuff that go on in Tucson. So
is the next move, Shireen, for you to go on the recruiting trail with Rich Rod and try to sell Tucson? You did a lovely job right there.
If he have me and hire me, I'm all his.
So to your point about Texas and Florida, 4 of the 10 current commits for the 2018 class from Texas and Florida.
Well, that's 4 more than before. I think we had 4 from Louisiana a couple years ago, and 2 are left, Shun Brown and Antonio Parks. This is Antonio Parks' first year playing, so he had a gray shirt, I believe, and something else, but I'm excited to. He's a very much of an extrovert, and I got to know him a lot before he got to Tucson, but once he got to Tucson, he cut all of it off, and so I'm just really looking forward to him being successful. I really like to see Antonio be successful. And Shun, he's really good at social media, so you always know what he's thinking, and he's like one of the #1 receivers for us this coming season. So 2 guys from Louisiana will be playing this year.
All right. It's always a good talk of Arizona Wildcats football with Shireen Ryan. You can catch her on Twitter at Sports Crazy, right?
With ease, yeah. And I also have a show called In the Front Row, and you can find me at In the Front Row LA on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Find me on YouTube. I interview a lot of football players that aren't committing necessarily to Arizona. They have offers from Alabama, USC, UCLA, all the big schools, Ohio State, Michigan. So there's a lot of that, and hopefully I'll get a lot more this upcoming season. I plan on hitting Redondo Union, Cathedral High School, St. John's Bosco invited me to come and interview some of their players. So stay tuned to In the Front Row as well.
All right, Shireen, it's always a fun time, and it's tough to keep up with you, but we try. So we appreciate you slowing down and talking to us for a few minutes.
Slowing down. I had a lot to say.
No, I mean slow you down to get you in one spot from doing all the work that you do. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I spent the afternoon with Paul George and Devin Booker, so
It's a charmed life.
Yes. You just get to know people, and they trust you, and then you get to meet people, so that's fun.
You do it well. All right, Shireen, thanks a lot.
All right. You're welcome. Bear down.